Welcome back to the Sci Squad podcast.
Yo, yo, yo.
What?
Did you guys have a good Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was awesome.
Great.
Big feast. Eat.
Great. You wore a mask, right? Kept it safe?
Of course.
Perfect.
Of course it
That's
I
what you gotta
actually did do one Thanksgiving virtually, so.
Oh, nice.
I did not do a Thanksgiving virtually, but we all stood 6 feet away, and of course we wore a mask, especially while we were eating.
Yes, that's most important.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I watched some football on Thanksgiving.
I was going to say, Duncan, how was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was fantastic.
Good.
Sat 6 feet away from everybody.
Right.
Watched football.
Were you actually able to, do something, or did you have to, quarantine?
Nope, went to Watertown.
Nice.
It was a fun time.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Matthew Stafford didn't play that well.
I was going to say, you know who did have a good time on Thanksgiving?
Football team.
Deshaun Watson.
Yep, that's true.
And Alex Smith.
That's very true as well.
You know who didn't have a good Thanksgiving?
Any Cowboys player?
The Steelers and the Ravens.
They didn't have a Thanksgiving.
Mostly the Ravens.
I mean, they didn't know it took all of us, I guess.
Yeah.
They'll learn.
Fair enough.
I'm curious to see who gets punished more, the Ravens or the Broncos.
Oh, God.
That'll be a fun one. Because I have a feeling it'll be the Broncos just because that seems to be a league move to the Ravens.
Yeah, and I feel like because the players didn't break protocol, one of the trainers did.
Right.
And the actual players for Denver broke protocol, so I feel like that would. Well, that's actually apparently why they still let them play.
Made them play
on Sundays because they wanted to, teach them a lesson, use them as an example, which is just awful because then it just ruins the quality of the game. But it's whatever. It's neither here nor there.
It's here and there. Problem.
Well. That's just, I mean, what do I know? I'm just the consumer that the NFL is trying to sell, so, it's whatever. Again, why should I care about it if the NFL clearly doesn't care about all its teams?
That's what it shows, kind of.
Yeah, no, like I said, I understand they broke protocol and stuff, but you still want to put the best quality out there, and what if they spread it to other players, and you're going to put the Saints in that situation?
Right.
Kind of a bummer. Kind of an ass move, NFL.
I mean, Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
He can continue getting all the hate he wants, though. It'd be a good thing. What else happened? Oh, yeah. Will Fuller, speaking of him.
Yeah.
Had a great game. Did some PEDs.
I was going to say, there's a reason that he's been popping off the last couple weeks.
Him and Bradley Roby, both suspended for the rest of the year. 6 games.
Gosh.
Poor Texans.
I don't know what it is, but, Miami has to be the luckiest team in the NFL.
They are very lucky.
Seriously. They're going to put themselves in a position to maybe make the playoffs. Tua ended up being a really good draft pick. They have a really good defense, and they're going to...
Great... What? Tua, yeah.
Yeah.
It was Fitzmagic time yesterday, but...
Yeah, but isn't this the same Tua that got benched for not playing well? Against
the Broncos after the defense almost
but
killed him.
But then what did Tua do the next week?
Nothing.
He didn't play.
Oh, he didn't play? Why?
No,
he hurt his thumb.
Yeah, he hurt his thumb.
Oh, well.
He'll be back.
Huh? I think it's too early to call Tua a good draft pick.
Oh, I
think he's a good draft pick.
I think he is too. I thought it was a good draft pick when they picked him up. Oh, so what? Tua Tagovailoa, a rookie, has a bad game in the cold in Mile High Stadium for the first time in his first road game.
It's almost like most players have bad first games in Mile High.
Right.
I mean,
I'm not gonna sit there and ridicule Tua after a bad game in Denver. I'm just not gonna do it. But the point is that Miami now, who are already putting themselves in a position to make the postseason, they are now going to get a top 5 pick because Houston is just such a dumpster fire.
Yeah, and hey, I'm all for it.
My freaking Miami. They're gonna find a way to get Penei Sewell, aren't they? Or Jamar Chase.
I'd be good with both of those.
Or they'll just act up and find a way to get both.
Hey, if that's what they want to do,
that would be stupid.
Let's get a super team building here.
That would be insanely dumb, like in a good way.
No. They're gonna also draft Trevor Lawrence.
Well, okay. Okay.
Who? Yeah, and then trade him away for like 20,000 assets. Keep Tua.
Right.
Or trade Tua away for the same amount of assets. They'll trade Ryan Fitzpatrick away for 20 assets.
No, I think they need Ryan Fitzpatrick at this point. They showed that with
Gross.
Tua hurt his thumb. Didn't even need to flinch. Just threw out Fitzmagic out there and they won the game.
Right.
I wasn't saying gross about Fitzmagic. Batum is officially a Clipper.
Wow. That's the move that gets them to the finals.
Probably not.
It's not.
Hey, there's some good basketball games going on for Christmas, they announced.
Yeah. For the NBA, I haven't seen them yet. What are the games?
Pelicans at Heat at noon.
Okay, that should be fun.
That'll be very fun. Warriors Bucks 2:30. Sounds like a good game.
I don't know. I guess without Clay, the Warriors don't excite me as much.
They also, probably made the schedule
and the Bucks
before
have
Clay
Drew
got hurt.
Holiday. So.
Yeah. Nets at Celtics. Great game.
Wait, Nets at Celtics?
Yep.
Oh.
Mavs Lakers.
Oh, sign me up. Sign me up.
And then to cap the night off, Clippers Nuggets. So good games.
Yeah, that would be a good game. Oh, sign me up for Luka Doncic versus LeBron on Christmas.
Prime
time. What did I do to get on the nice list to get that game?
They just want it in 2020 in the right way.
Oh, God, I love it.
But, yeah.
Well, solid NBA for putting up some games. I can't believe they're starting again already.
I know, I'm excited.
I am very excited.
Preseason starts the 11th, I think.
Yeah, in a week or two?
Yeah, next Friday.
Damn.
Can't wait. Don't bite the bullet and buy League Pass and watch a ton of basketball.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
We're going to hit the fun times of sports, basketball, NFL playoffs will be starting soon. Hockey's starting soon, isn't it, Brendan?
I don't even know. I was just waiting for the first games here. Like, oh wow. So I don't
and then
hockey's just
mid-January is what they're going for.
MLS Cup is on December 12th or December 11th. Excuse me.
Nice. Who will that feature? Do we know yet?
I would hope it's Minnesota, but if it's not Minnesota, I'm still sticking with my guns for Columbus, Seattle, and actually that's looking more and more likely. Columbus has a pretty easy path. There's been a lot of upsets in the Eastern Conference.
Ooh, Orlando got upset. I like that.
Yeah, New England's been playing good, but I just think Columbus will be too much. Unless they get more COVID cases, because I know they had some issues with it last go-around.
No. We don't wish that upon people.
No, I do not wish it. I am just saying...
You welcome it?
Listen, I am just saying, if Kansas City players get COVID... The death rate is low. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Wow.
All jokes aside, I kid everyone. Please don't cancel me. I'll actually be in Kansas City for that game.
Oh, really?
I will be, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
That sounds like a good time.
Should be a good time. Kansas is one of the few states that isn't totally shutting everything down. So they're actually allowing fans in their stadiums. So
South Dakota would do the same thing if they wanted to bring sports here for a little bit.
They actually would.
Yeah. So that's going on now, right?
Yeah, in fact, tonight Seattle and Dallas actually kick off the first of the Western Conference semifinals. Seattle at home against FC Dallas.
Is that expected to be a good game, or do you think Seattle's going to run away with it?
I personally think Seattle's going to run them out of the water. Actually, no. I don't know. It's interesting because, final answer, it is going to be a good game because Dallas always plays Seattle tough. and Dallas matches up. Like they're actually one of the only few teams that can actually attack against Seattle because of the matchups. So I would say it's going to be a pretty good game. If I had to predict the score, I would say like 3-2. Like they're going to be. It's going to be a barn burner.
I love barn burners.
I do love I love barns being burned.
Me too.
That's bad for the environment, guys.
Well, hey, the environment can suffer, so I don't have to.
Random question: what's your guys' opinion on Fairlife milk?
Oh, that's pretty alright.
I would.
Wait. Milk or chocolate milk?
Their chocolate milk is good.
Chocolate milk's pretty alright.
I would rate it
Fairlife milk.
6.5 out of 10.
All right, guys, don't buy Fairlife milk again. Because apparently they treat their cows like garbage.
Okay, I won't. I don't buy rich milk anyways. I buy cheap, generic Walmart milk.
Yeah.
I don't buy fake rich milk. If I'm buying rich milk, I'm buying organic, local farmed.
Wow, way to be a good citizen
Bougie
there.
chocolate milk.
Almond milk. No.
Okay. Where is the titty on an almond?
I don't know where.
Almond milk is good in like coffee drinks though.
I actually like almond milk. I'm not gonna lie, but like it's not my like go-to.
Fair.
But my ex would get almond milk all the time and force me to drink it, and I'm like,
so grew on you.
What's that?
So it just grew on you.
It just kind of grew on me. It's actually not bad though.
Nice.
Yeah.
What else is going on here? Nothing really, I guess. So back to the NFL.
Of course.
Wild week.
Yeah.
We had like ton of backups, ton of interesting games, some upsets. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Starting off, the Bills beat the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
Barely. Well, not barely, but kind of barely.
Yeah. When are we gonna question Anthony Lynn's ability to coach?
That's kind of where I'm at already.
Like, part of me is kind of like, okay, well, I mean, let's give them a full year with a healthy roster. But now it's like, we can't really afford to waste this time with Justin Herbert.
Right.
So,
hear me out. What the Chargers need to do is they need to, if his contract, when is the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs?
Bieniemy?
When is his contract up?
Well, I don't know when his contract's up, but I know he's going to be like the top candidate for head coaching jobs this offseason.
Well, they need to go after him because he would be the perfect setup for young Justin Herbert.
See, but here's the thing.
And they'd get more picks. Chiefs would get picks.
I think Eric Bieniemy wants to stay in Kansas City.
Then you trade for him.
That's not going to happen. Kansas City loves him. He loves Kansas City. He's definitely not going to go to a rival in the Chargers.
Right.
I think that would be
think about that.
That would be his last
destination.
destination.
That teams hate each other sometimes.
But I don't know. It'll be interesting.
You know who I think should go to the Chargers?
Who? Vance Joseph.
Jim Harbaugh.
Bill Belichick.
Yes, I'm all for that.
I think he should also move on from New England. He should just be like,
Give
you know
it a
what?
chance.
I don't have time to rebuild. I proved myself here. So Jalen Suggs, he's from Minnesota. So I am going to take my talents elsewhere. Chargers need a coach. I get Justin Herbert. I already adopt what is a solid core of talent on defense.
If Bill Belichick went to the current Chargers, they would be a Super Bowl team.
Yes.
Potentially 16.
They would be
or
good.
8, 19, or whatever.
He would make Justin Herbert look good in ways that we didn't even know was possible.
That's fair.
He wouldn't lose to the Bills. Let's just put it that way.
No. This is facts.
Also, your best friend Josh Allen, kind of back down to earth a little bit.
He's not my best friend.
He's fumbled a couple times, just.
He's just my friend when it comes to fantasy. I care less about his career.
Ouch.
He's definitely out of the conversation for MVP.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I feel like Russell Wilson's out of the conversation for MVP right now.
What?
No, Russell Wilson's not out of the conversation, but
out?
He lost his lead. I think it's got to be Mahomes.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Rodgers?
I feel like it's gonna be Rodgers.
No, it's got to be Mahomes.
No.
Mahomes is having like the most quietly dominant, one of the most dominant years, but he's doing it at like such a quiet, effective rate because he plays to the Chiefs and everyone knows how great Kansas City is.
He lost to the Raiders. So that's the end of the story.
He did, and you know what he did? He beat them the next week. He is 9-1 or 10-1. Every good team has a bad loss. New England lost to Cleveland once. I've seen it. I watched that game. It happens. Who did Denver lose to in their Super Bowl year? Who are all the teams they lost to?
New England.
I don't know.
I'm sure they lost to New England. Did they? No,
Yes.
I actually think they beat New England that year.
No, they lost to New England in the regular season, beat them in the playoffs.
Well, the point is...
Or it might be a year off.
The point is that... Here, 1 second. I just have to look up Mahomes' stats. I still believe he's the MVP. But also, you have to kind of... What I personally think, too, is that if you look at Kansas City, like, there's clearly something not right there with the defense.
Right.
You know, they don't really have a solid running attack right now. Mahomes is, like, continuing to have to be the focal point of that team, and he's kind of the main reason they're winning football games right now. Because they've been in a lot of close games, you know, and Mahomes hasn't made any mistakes. He hasn't played bad in any stretch of the word. He didn't even play bad against the Raiders. I think they...
Patrick Mahomes played bad against the Chargers the first time.
He
did.
He didn't play terrible.
He played bad until like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Well, and you know what? That made the difference, right? Because that's just how Mahomes is.
I mean, and that's what happened in this last Raiders game. He didn't play great in the first half, and then when they needed him to in the last 2 minutes of the game,
right. That's what MVP. Right. That's what MVPs do. It's great for the Packers that they're blowing out Chicago.
Now,
Good.
Mitch Trubisky
Right.
played a very great game and should be the starter. And if the defense would not have given up, that game would have been closer. And the Bears and Mitch Trubisky could have beat Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
I don't think any of that.
I chose not to watch the game because
it was so good.
I felt like I could have done so many other things.
I was so happy with Mitch Trubisky in the second half. So happy with Aaron Rodgers because that makes Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays on Pat McAfee show 10 times better when he wins. It's a great game.
Yeah. So, fun fact about Mahomes, he's first in the NFL in passing yards, third in the NFL in touchdowns at 30, first in interceptions with only 2, and first in QBR, 86.2. With wins against Tom Brady, the Raiders.
Tom Brady. The Bucs are not a, phenomenal team.
No, but they're a good football team, and it's Tom Brady on the road.
Mediocre is bad. At best.
Oh God, they're above mediocre.
No, I think every team in the NFC, but
So what makes you think? Here's my question to you guys then. How do you view Tampa right now? Mediocre. How did you view them before the year started? Like honestly.
Should have been Super Bowl team.
Okay.
Well, I did not view them that way.
Okay.
As a Super Bowl team.
Okay, so Duncan, fact of the matter for Tampa.
They're doing what they're doing.
Tampa is doing exactly what I thought they would, and they're going to be a playoff team because of it. Tampa's fun.
I thought they would be playing a little better, but
No.
I didn't think they'd be doing all that much better.
Hear me out. Would have been better with Jameis Winston.
How? That's simply not.
When they wouldn't have signed Antonio Brown.
Well, Antonio Brown's not the problem.
Antonio Brown's not the problem.
Antonio
Get
Brown's
that out of
first game
here.
against the Saints was just atrocious. How much Tom Brady was trying to force the ball.
It's not Antonio Brown's fault.
No, it's not Antonio Brown's fault.
I'm just saying. They would have signed him, so it wouldn't have been the problem.
No, because here's the fact with if Jameis Winston would have been there. No, they would be worse because what we said going into the year with Tampa Bay, if Tom Brady he cuts the turnovers in half, Tampa's if Jameis Winston were to have cut the turnovers in half last year, Tampa would have been a 10-6 football team. Well, guess what? Tom Brady is on pace to do that by a substantial margin. He's actually on pace to have one of his better touchdown passing years he's had in his career. I believe he already has a higher completion percentage than he did last year, and they're going to be like 10-6.
It's fair.
That's what Tampa is to me.
The biggest thing that gets to me is Tampa has 2 top 10 receivers, like easily skill wise, on their team.
I also don't think Arians is a good fit, or Arians and Brady are.
No, I don't think it can work at all.
Like, I think this offseason, it's gonna suck, but it's gonna come down. Tom Brady's gonna walk into the front office, and it's like either you get rid of me or you get rid of him.
Bruce Arians, next head coach of the Chargers.
No, God, I think that would be awful for Justin Herbert.
No, it's gonna be great.
It would suck.
It would not. It would not be. That would not be the fit for Justin Herbert personally, but it's whatever.
He can go to I don't know, the Jets.
Maybe he could just retire.
I mean, that'd be the smart idea, but we all know he's not going to do that.
I feel like, because I feel like the way that Arians wants to play, it just doesn't fit Tom. Just doesn't fit Tom Brady's career playing style, which is whatever. But then it's just going to come down to, okay, either we get a quarterback that does fit your style, or we go get a head coach that fits Brady's style. And I have a pretty good idea of which route the Bucs want to choose. This is the next 2 years are their Super Bowl window.
Well, to be fair, Derek Carr is going to be a free agent next year. The Raiders want Tom Brady anyways.
Yeah, I mean, however you want.
Derek Carr would be the perfect quarterback for Bruce Arians. You can't convince me otherwise.
I actually think Derek Carr and Arians would be a really good fit, actually.
Derek Carr is like the perfect, good, but nobody gives him credit for it, but also mediocre at the same time.
I think in the way that
like your Carson Palmer, realistically your Peyton Manning.
Right. Well,
hey, taking shots at Peyton Manning like
God,
that.
I hate Peyton Manning.
I love Peyton Manning.
Why? You always got the best of him. Always.
Yeah, I know. That's why I hate that people want to say that Peyton Manning is the best quarterback. Ethan for a long time said that Peyton Manning was the best quarterback to ever play football.
You know why he said that? Fuck Tom Brady, that's why. Look at some of Ethan's other takes. Ethan does not have good takes. You just have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think the way Derek Carr, the way he plays, pushes the ball downfield well. He's very accurate. I think he does does look for that big time home run ball a lot during the game. That's what Bruce Arians, how he likes to play. You know, risk it for the biscuit, right? Like, that's how he plays, or that's how he wants to coach.
Punish the quarterback when they do it.
Yeah, pretty much. He very easily could have just ended Jameis's career by doing that, because Jameis Winston should be the starter in New Orleans, and he's not.
Yeah. What else happened? New England got a last-second field goal against the Cardinals.
Yeah, that was a classic Bill Belichick win.
Yeah, I think takes Kyler out too.
Yeah, Kyler's out of it. Kyler's still a year away. I think the Cardinals are a year away.
That's fair. That's what you said before the season started, and I was like, Cardinals Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Cardinals are realistically what I thought they were. They're going to be explosive on offense. Games where they were going to get exposed because they're young and their offensive line. Defense gives up too many yards. And I said they would be like a 5-6 win team. Now I think they'll be better because I think they'll win probably another game or two. So they'll finish like 7-8 wins. But still a year away if you ask me. Which is okay.
But I don't know. Next year you're going to actually have a Niners team that's healthy.
Yeah, but you're going to have the Rams that there's a good chance that they might find themselves out of it. I mean, I don't know. That division will still be really tough, but
I think Seattle, if anything, will get better. Because they're not losing anything.
True.
And their defense is finally finding their way.
Right. So, yeah, Seattle will be tough.
But
the thing is, though, is San Francisco, we don't know who their quarterback's going to be next year.
That's true. That's very true, actually.
That's actually a legit question now.
Could be Tom Brady.
Could be.
Very well could be, I guess.
At this point, I don't know if it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, so my biggest thing, speaking of the Rams and the Niners, I like how the Rams are having a pretty bad season because they have basically none of their starters healthy, and they still find a way to beat the Rams.
I don't know what it is. We always just play like little bitches against the Niners. I don't know what it is. The last 3 years, it's just so fucking annoying.
Break.
It's just so obnoxious. That game was so annoying.
Hey,
Ugh,
it's interesting.
Jared.
We already talked about Fitzmagic beating the Jets.
Ooh,
I mean,
we didn't talk about King Henry.
We haven't gotten to King Henry yet. We gotta talk about how Daniel Jones is gonna miss some times, and so that Washington football team, Giants, Eagles division.
Oh,
how I left that one team out there.
You're counting the boys out?
I'm counting the boys out.
Yeah, I'm also
off on the boys.
I'm off on the boys as well.
The Cowboys, okay, let's be 100% honest with ourselves. If Dak Prescott wouldn't have gotten injured, the Cowboys would probably be actually a decent team.
Oh, yeah,
they wouldn't have a defense, but you don't need a defense in the new NFL.
I kind of do.
It helps, but I mean, if you have just a defense, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
Whereas
yeah.
you used to just be able to win only off of a defense.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is Dallas would have been a high potent offense because Dak Prescott was on pace to break the single season passing record.
Yep. Well, he threw for more than 400 yards in 3 games back to back?
Yeah, he would have broke the record, and he was on pace to actually shatter it. So you would have to assume that Dallas would have put points on the board. If Dak Prescott was healthy, Dallas, I don't know how good they'd be, but I think they would be a landslide win for them in that division.
That's fair, I think.
But Washington, Alex Smith.
Yeah.
He is playing well. Alex Smith is playing pretty good right now.
I think he secured himself the starting position.
Yeah. And you know what?
Wow.
Alex Smith goes back to being what Alex Smith does. I'm going to be a game manager.
Yep.
I'm going to utilize the teammates I have. And I'm going to win football games. Because that's what I do. Because I am Alex Smith. And I cannot wait to be another bridge quarterback next year.
And what makes it even better is that young team has so much potential on it.
Right.
That I think Alex Smith is the perfect one to just hold it over while they get everything figured out, get Antonio Gibson going, get Scary Terry going, and get that defense figured out, and they could just hold steady on offense and possibly make the playoffs.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Washington. The football team.
Football team. They're not changing their name. There's no way.
You don't think they're going to?
No.
I heard that they're not going to.
At this point, I think it's just what everybody's gotten used to saying, and why waste money on a new team name to get criticized when, football team kind of works.
Well, I tell you what, though, if they win the division because they're called the football team,
then you really can't, because it's in the history book. Football team won.
The 1 year they were the football team, they won the division. And honestly, I heard that Dan Schneider won't do it just to stick it to the NFL for making him change it to begin with.
That's such a Dan Schneider move.
Right.
I could see it.
Yuck, Lord. But I love that Alex Smith is playing well. I hope Washington does win the division, not for Daniel Schneider's sake, but just for Alex Smith's sake. And he's all but solidified comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
If there's even a player that gets a vote, stupid.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I'm trying to think. The only player that I can think of that might be in contention has been Roethlisberger because he didn't play, but
I think when you look at Alex Smith's situation,
right, that's it's the story for me.
It's the story, and the fact that he's playing well and is about to lead the Washington football team to a division title. What?
Okay. Stranger things have happened.
Oh, 2020, it's wild.
But yeah, Giants also won, so that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Brandon Allen didn't look horrible for the Bengals.
No, they actually played pretty close against the Giants. It was
Brandon Allen better than
No.
Danny Dimes?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Joe Burrow.
Both are no. Daniel Jones also was playing hurt and then further hurt himself. So, I mean, you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt as well. And Daniel Jones has no weapons.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But I think with Daniel Jones getting hurt, it kind of solidifies football teams, chances.
Yeah.
But King Henry, you're talking about him.
King Henry. So, Indianapolis, the last time they played, stopped him.
Yes.
For a lot.
Yes. It was a big game the last time.
Sunday, they could not stop him whatsoever.
Derrick Henry is really good.
Was not happy about it though.
You weren't?
Burden, what is one of the teams that I overhype? The Colts. There you go.
You only started overhyping them like 3 weeks ago.
No, it was the start of the season.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Cause
you didn't overhype them enough, I guess.
No. Well, because I'm overhyping.
You were overhyping the Bills. The start of the season.
Bills and the Cardinals and
the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, yeah.
Did I ever tell you guys my Colts theory and what they should do this offseason?
Well, what should they do? Does it involve getting rid of Phillip Rivers for a better quarterback?
It does.
Which one?
All right, guys. Who has really good cap space next year?
The Colts.
The Colts.
Yeah.
Yes. Who has a really solid defense?
The Colts.
Who has a top 5 offensive line football?
The Colts.
Who has a solid running attack and pretty decent weapons?
The Colts.
Right.
The Colts are a Super Bowl team minus Phillip Rivers.
Guess who's going to potentially be a free agent this offseason? Now yes. Now it looks less likely now that Dallas is ass cheeks, but if they don't want to give him his money, the Colts have the cap space. They're not paying anybody.
Dude,
go
awesome.
Get him. And then I've done the math on it. Since they can afford it, they can afford this other contract. Who's on the trade block this offseason?
Who?
OBJ.
Oh, yes.
If you are Indianapolis, you put all your chips in the deck.
Which will make T.Y. Hilton like a top 5 receiver in football again.
You're right, because he would have another guy there.
OBJ, no. T.Y. Hilton.
Because
Michael Pittman.
Whenever OBJ goes to a team that's not the Giants, he doesn't play well, and the other guy does better. Ooh.
I like OBJ.
He did okay one game, and then he got injured.
Well, that's what happens when you're getting shit on every week. I mean, you can't expect much more.
Hey, whatever
makes him happy. That's true. Whatever makes him happy. Just don't let us know about it next time. Or don't let other people let us know about it. But
stop making all the girls mad, OBJ.
I like your theory for the Colts.
Yeah,
that does sound amazing.
Just go.
And Jacoby Brissett becomes the quarterback for the Niners and wins the Super Bowl anyways.
Okay, but I like Jacoby Brissett in his situation now. He comes in to run it in for the quarterback sneaks every game.
Honestly,
gets 2 touchdowns a game. It's
because
good.
of Phillip Rivers' turnovers. I honestly sometimes wonder if maybe, just maybe, Jacoby Brissett would be a better option than Phillip Rivers.
I don't know. I feel like they would be roughly the same because Phillip Rivers isn't like terrible. It's just he throws
2-3 picks a game.
Yeah,
I was sitting there and that's. In the offseason, when they signed Phillip Rivers, I was like, well,
that's what he did
I didn't think that was much of an improvement. And the season is just kind of proof that, I guess. But
because I thought going into the year, now that he's not pressured all the time, he was going to play somewhat semi-better. And he is playing semi-better than last year, just not...
He just doesn't throw it to T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y. Hilton's not very good anymore.
That's true.
He's just not that.
Still won't drop him to fantasy because the minute I do, I drop somebody or trade somebody, they go off.
You benched him last week.
Yeah, put up 18. D-Hop only put 10.5.
Yep.
Nice.
But so do you think the Titans have the division?
Yeah.
They do have a 1-game lead.
Yeah, they probably do. I don't know what Tennessee's schedule looks like, but I would imagine that they're gonna get that. They're probably gonna get that division. I'm sure.
Well, Tennessee
Browns, Jags, Lions,
Jags.
Oh,
Packers, Texans. Yeah, the Tennessee.
Yeah, they're gonna take that division.
Colts are still making the playoffs though, so we're all good.
Who
We're all good.
Who wins in the Packers Titans game?
Is it in Lambeau or is it in Tennessee?
I don't think it matters.
It definitely matters.
It does to an extent.
And it's in Lambeau.
It's in Lambeau. So here's the thing.
It's Aaron Rodgers' game to lose.
Here's the thing with Green Bay is when a team gets physical with Green Bay, they tend to fold under pressure. And with Tennessee, that runs the ball obviously insanely well because they have Derrick Henry.
Yeah, and
that would create some interesting things for Tennessee. I just think it'll be a high-scoring game. I don't necessarily think that the defense is going to matter.
See, I don't know. I actually could see it kind of being a slugfest, like a 24-20, maybe a 27-21 game, but I don't know.
Well, I think Titans defense is good, but it's kind of shaky, kind of good.
Yeah.
Where it's
Desmond King's been really good for him since going to the Titans.
Which I'm not that surprised about.
No, I'm not either, but he's been really good since.
Yeah, realistically, Titans have a really good secondary that gets overlooked with.
I think Tennessee. I just feel like as a football team gets overlooked.
I think Tennessee might be one of the most complete teams in the NFL.
Like in terms of like coaching and just how well rounded they are. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's out of the equation to think that they can get to the Super Bowl. Like they're beat teams like Baltimore, Kansas City. I'm intrigued to see what they would do against Pittsburgh.
I think they'd beat Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's
they will. They played and they missed the kick to send.
That's right. Yep, that's right. Steven Gostkowski, who's having his worst year of his career, missed a field goal that should have sent it to OT. So we know they can beat the Steelers.
Right.
I think they're fully capable of beating Kansas City. We know they're capable of beating the Ravens. The fact they're just a better team than the Ravens. So who really stands in Tennessee's way?
That's a white guy.
You have a good point there.
Like, Tennessee getting to the Super Bowl, I don't think is a crazy, thing. I think that's a realistic possibility. I think they're probably the third best team in the AFC. And I think when you look at matchups, because that's all the NFL is matchups, I think Tennessee matches up well against Pittsburgh and Kansas City. Everyone wants to just lock up Pittsburgh, Kansas City for the AFC title game, and that's a fair thing. I would probably do the same thing, but don't just disregard Tennessee. They're capable of beating both those teams.
I mean, I think it'd be interesting to watch what the Browns do. Granted, it depends on which Baker Mayfield shows up that day.
I just don't trust Baker enough. I just don't.
It's weird to think that the Browns are 8-3.
Yeah, they're
8-3 second in the division by 2 games,
and no one cares.
That's true.
It just feels like they shouldn't be.
I think it feels more like they should be.
It definitely feels like they shouldn't be 8-3 because they have not been playing very good football. Baker Mayfield's been subpar at the absolute best.
Hey, Baker had a great game against the Jags this week.
Oh God!
But Mike Glennon had a great game against the Browns.
Mike Glennon.
That's fair.
He was supposed to be the bridge quarterback while Mitch Trubisky was developed.
Wow. Mitch Trubisky could have turned into the greatest quarterback of all time. Oh wait, he already is.
Oh.
No, second to Nathan Peterman. Ooh, ouch. Oof. Oh yeah, actually, he's good.
Peterman's not good, but Minnesota keeping their playoff hopes maybe alive.
Oh God,
bullshit.
That's what the story is.
Oh, the Vikings are in such a tough situation. They are in such a tough spot right now.
Yep.
That loss to Dallas is just that's gonna hurt them.
I think that's what the deciding factor will be when it.
Because here's the thing. It's going to be the deciding factor in one of two ways. Because the Vikings now, if they win, because their schedule is pretty favorable down the stretch, if they miss the playoffs, they're not getting a top 10 pick.
Right.
And if they do, and if they make the playoffs, fine and dandy, they get to lose in the first round
to the Washington football team.
To the Washington football team.
I mean, they play Jags, Buccaneers, Bears, Saints, Lions.
Yeah, so at maximum 2 losses.
Maximum 4 losses?
No.
3 losses? Saints, Bears.
No. They're not losing to the Bears. They're not losing to the Bears.
Okay.
The Bears.
Vikings,
Lions. They will not lose to the Bears.
The
Lions? They're gonna lose all of it.
Lions week 17?
They are not losing to the Lions or the Bears. I don't even know if they're gonna lose to Tampa. I think Minnesota matches up well with Tampa.
Yeah, that would be a fun game to watch.
They're gonna lose all those games. Because they're gonna bench Tom Brady in Tampa.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I think the Vikings are a tough situation.
It's tough because then it's like, do you swallow your pride and just try and tank and try and salvage a top 10 pick, or do you are you just too prideful to be like, no, we have to make the playoffs, blah blah blah?
I think Mike Zimmer is gonna definitely go with the we have to make the playoffs,
right? And then when it comes down to it, that loss to Dallas just sucks because that essentially takes them out of the playoff hunt, and then this whole winning streak was absolutely worthless.
Right.
How many games back is Minnesota right now?
1, I believe.
To who?
The Bears.
Yes, I think. Hold on, let me make sure.
No, it can't.
The Bears lost.
Oh, it was before the Bears game.
Because they beat the Bears and that they passed the Bears in the division.
Hold on, let me see.
So I don't think it's the Bears. It would be probably the Rams.
They are. It could happen, guys. They are 8th.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Who's 7th? The Rams?
7th is Cardinals.
Oh.
6th is Buccaneers. 5th is Rams.
Yeah, that's...
It is desirable to... You could make it.
Yeah, so I actually don't think it's bullshit. Like earlier, I remember a week or so ago, Ben was saying how there's no chance that it happens.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a really good chance that it happens.
Chance it happens.
Arizona. Well, first off, the game between the Rams and the Cardinals this week, that's gonna gain ground for a minute. And who does Minnesota play? Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So Minnesota's gonna by the time Monday Night Football ends, Minnesota will technically be in a playoff spot.
Probably.
Because either they pass Arizona or they pass Los Angeles. And the Rams' schedule is not cute the rest of the way.
They have the 9. They played the 9.
They got the Cardinals twice and Seattle. I mean, they do have the Jets and the Patriots at home, but it's not a cute schedule.
We were supposed to have the Jarrett Bowl.
We were supposed to have the Jarrett Bowl.
The Jarrett Bowl. Make it happen still.
It's technically
Cam get COVID again.
I mean, it really could still happen
because they're not going to start. They're not going to start Mike over or what's his name? Is it
Mike Wazowski?
No.
Oh. Mike Wazowski.
Who am I thinking of?
What team are you talking about?
The Patriots.
Cam Newton.
No, the third guy.
Jared Stidham.
Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer. He looks like a Mike.
Mike? Okay. You really had me confused there. I'm like,
yeah, I don't know. Brian Hoyer. They're not going to start Brian Hoyer again if Cam goes out. But Cam's also winning games, but also looking really garbage.
It's not Cam that's winning a game. It's the defense stepping up to win the game.
The Patriots are winning games, even though Cam is looking.
I guess you're
garbage.
right. It's also
the Bears were too.
It's also Damian Harris that's helping that a lot.
Yeah.
At this
point.
point.
I mean, the Patriots have a solid running game. That's all they have.
That's
on offense.
That's fair. That's fair.
They have a solid running game and Jacoby Myers.
That's fair. What else happened? Las Vegas is dead.
Vegas got shit on.
No, I think
Falcons are good. They're gonna beat the Saints.
That's what I was gonna say. I think that's what shows that the Falcons, once they got rid of their head coach, they're playing like they should have been playing all year long. And if they would have just started winning earlier, I think they'd have a chance to make
the problem is if they don't blow leads, they beat the Bears. They beat the Cowboys. If if they just learn how to pick up an onside kick, they beat the Cowboys.
Yeah. Because where are they in the... They're in the hunt. They're 10.
Yo, what if the Falcons make a run?
Because what's the Falcons' schedule look like?
Well, they're going to beat the Saints.
Well, obviously, that's what I have going here. Saints, Chargers, Buccaneers, Chiefs,
they could beat
Buccaneers.
The Bucks. They could split with the Bucks. They will lose to the Chiefs.
Yeah, they're out of the playoffs.
I'm
not sold on it, but
I don't think they're going to sweep the Bucks, but they could split with the Bucks.
I think it shows that the Falcons are a real team.
Well, they just need a defense.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, they have the offensive firepower to put points on the board. They just need a defense.
Well, they had a defense against the Raiders, whose offense has been actually pretty okay.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs also got hurt, though. That's a big thing.
Yeah, but they still had Darren Waller.
That's true.
And they couldn't put up a single touchdown?
Can't make excuses.
Mm-hmm. They had Ruggs. They had Can't Catch a Ball Aguilar.
Nelson Aguilar has been one of the premier receivers this year.
I know.
He does not drop him anymore.
Because last year he was so bad.
Well, that's because he was on a team
with
a bad quarterback.
See, the funny thing is, 3 years... So, last year, terrible. The year before, Nelson Aguilar looked pretty solid, actually.
Yeah. Well,
the year they won the Super Bowl, he was solid.
I think the problem might have been Carson Wentz.
It's not Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz was playing great last year.
Yeah.
He's not playing great this year.
He is not playing very good this year.
He might not be on the team after this year.
They have too much money invested in Carson Wentz to not have him on the team.
They do. Carson
Wait, did they pay Carson?
Yeah, they did.
When did they do that?
A couple years ago?
He is the 5th. No, because who got paid? He's probably like the 7th now.
Carson Wentz,
top paid quarterback.
Colts.
I'd love to see it.
No, thank you. That take me out on the Colts.
Jalen Hurts.
I almost think the Carson would be better fit for. Actually, if Carson went to the Colts, that would be a perfect situation for Carson. Really good offensive line, weapons, be reunited with Frank Wright. It would almost be too perfect for him to go to Indianapolis.
Yeah, but I'm out on Carson Wentz, so we can't be having that.
Nope, I'm not out on Carson. I think there is so much going on in Philadelphia. You can't put all the blame on Carson.
I'm not putting all the blame on it, but when you can't even pass it 5 yards.
Well, when you don't even have the time to pass it 5 yards.
Other teams can pass it without having the time.
And
that's good for those quarterbacks.
Carson Wentz was playing bad at the beginning of the season when the offensive line was statistically ranked 3rd.
Yeah, no, and that's fantastic. Like, that's good for Philadelphia's O-line. But what I do know now is that Philadelphia's O-line is extremely unhealthy right now. Wow. Carson Wentz has no real weapons
let's recap.
Jalen Reagor, what do you mean?
Jalen Reagor's not very good. The guy cannot create separation, and he's not been as good as I expect him to be.
But I wanna bring up something. Do you remember the fact that the Eagles lost 3 of their starting offensive linemen at the beginning of the year for the whole season?
They lost.
Brandon Brooks got injured for the season.
They lost Dillard. They lost Lane Johnson.
Yep. And
their offense.
What happened to Jason Peters?
He's also hurt.
Yeah,
their offensive line health is just getting shit on right now. Oh, Seattle's already up 1-0. That game's going on right now? It's almost over. Shit.
Oh, it looks like there's a lot of time left because soccer's dumb.
Jesus. What was I gonna say? But so I'm not gonna. I am not gonna lose faith in Carson Wentz yet, because here's what I think ultimately is what's happening in Philadelphia. Watching that game against Seattle last night, Carson Wentz's mental clock is so off. He just looks like he has no faith in his offensive line. He looks like he has no faith in the weapons that he has.
Well, he looks like he's given up, and I think that's why they need to start. Just let Jalen Hurts have a go. Let Carson Wentz regain his composure. Have a week off. Get his mentals back.
Yeah, no, and
say he has COVID.
Do what you got to do. But here's the fact of the matter, too, for Carson Wentz. The mental aspect that Carson Wentz... Think about the mental bullshit that Carson has to deal with. Every single day he clocks into work, he has to walk into the stadium with a gigantic Nick Foles statue right out of Lincoln Financial Field. Like, every single day he clocks into work, that's what he has to deal with. And then there's still chatter saying that they like Carson, or that they like Nick Foles better than Carson, even though Carson is easily a better quarterback than Nick Foles. Carson Wentz is still better than Nick Foles, and Nick Foles has not been good this year. And Carson hasn't been very good. He's still better than Nick Foles. And then they go ahead and instead of trying to get Carson help, they draft a quarterback in the second round, and then he gets asked about it every single week. Like, that has to be so draining for Carson Wentz. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get
like if you're Carson, like, you have to just be sick of this bullshit. And when are we going to start putting the blame on Doug Peterson?
Oh, I already have.
Right. Like,
I think he should be fired. Everybody's saying he won a Super Bowl. That'll give him a couple years. Well, guess what?
So did Mike McCarthy.
Time's up.
Time's up. Time went out on Mike McCarthy. Like, great. You won him a Super Bowl. You will forever be in the hearts of Philadelphia lore. But, like, time's up.
Well, I just think it's funny when Tennessee almost fired, what's his face?
Mike Vrabel?
They almost fired Mike Vrabel after taking them to the playoffs and winning a playoff game.
Yeah, going 9-7, like 3 straight years.
They almost fired him.
They did. Now he's...
Good thing they didn't.
Now his job's pretty gosh darn safe. But, yeah, so I'm not going to bail on Carson yet. I just think nothing's going right for Philly this year. They have no defense. They're injured all over the place, just everywhere. Carson has no protection. Outside of Carlos Dunlap, Seattle doesn't really have much of a pass rush. I mean, the pass rush for Seattle has been getting a lot better over the last few weeks, but ultimately you shouldn't be giving up 5 sacks to Seattle. And they did, and part of that is, maybe Carson Wentz is... Well, before it was Carson Wentz holding the ball too long. Now it's just, he just can't even have time to think about what's going on, because he's just getting hurried and hit. And then it's just like, oh, well, Carson just doesn't have faith in his own line, and now he feels like he has to play hero ball, because it's like, well... our defense isn't stopping anybody, and we're not going to win a football game going 5 yards at a time if we're down 14-0. So I guess I better go for the home run ball. So I just think there's a lot going wrong in Philadelphia. Carson Wentz is having a bad year. I won't deny that. But you know what? It's just crazy to think that this is Carson Wentz's first bad year as a starting quarterback, because it realistically is. Happens to the best of every quarterback. The Giants were a year away, were close to getting rid of Eli Manning, and then you know what they did the next year? He won a Super Bowl. Peyton Manning threw 20 interceptions in his 4th year in the league. That turned out well for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Everybody has bad seasons. I think that Carson Wentz, the situation he in, definitely sucks.
It sucks.
I think that he's accepted the situation, and instead of trying to, push the envelope, he's just kind of defeated. He feels defeated.
Right.
And so he's not gonna.
Right.
I think that's the problem.
His team clearly just doesn't even have faith in him.
Right.
And it's been showing in all the decisions they've made up to this given point.
Jalen Hurts.
Really, why not go get a brother some help?
Well, ask the Packers and the Eagles have many similarities in that front. But I mean...
Right. The difference is, though, is Green Bay is more well put together, they're healthier, and they have a better coach.
Matt LaFleur.
Greatest.
No. Matt LaFleur is the assistant coach. Aaron Rodgers is the coach.
Right.
Well, I think you're right, but...
Matt LaFleur is there as he's just there to have a
figurehead. Yeah.
Does Aaron Rodgers, when he retires, come back to coach?
No, he said that he doesn't want to.
Oh.
He wants...
I was going to say, if anybody would know, it'd be you.
Yep. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, Pat McAfee show. Aaron Rodgers. He sold me on Aaron Rodgers, and Pat McAfee have sold me on Aaron Rodgers. I am all in on Aaron Rodgers. He's a great guy.
Aaron Rodgers.
You do?
Yeah, burning passion.
That's a bad opinion by you. But, what else is going on? San Fran barely wins. Shouldn't have happened. Did happen. Rams are to blame. You know, but the Rams got it this week, maybe.
Nope.
No, you don't think so?
No, I think Cardinals are going to beat us.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I mean, I like the Cardinals.
Cardinals are going to
get quarterback in the draft, you know?
We can't because we don't have a first round pick.
Trade somebody away, get one.
I don't want because there's only one player that's worth a first round pick on our roster. I don't want to get rid of
No, I think you could get a first rounder for Cooper Kupp.
No, for a receiver? No.
Yeah. Somebody would pay for him. Somebody would be dumb.
No, not this year, which is going to be another stacked wide receiver class. No one would give up a first round pick for Cooper Kupp. There's literally only one player on our roster that's worth a first round pick, and
Aaron Donald,
and I would literally maybe go into a state of depression if we got rid of him.
What about the guy whose contract's up at the end of the year?
Who?
Jalen Ramsey?
No, we extended him already.
Oh, yeah. Did you?
We did.
Yeah, somehow.
And he is also not worth the first round pick.
No. He played okay. He played good.
Oh, Jalen Ramsey's been really good this year.
He's worth the first round pick.
I personally don't think so, but
I think he has the potential to be.
You can hear me out. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey to the Dolphins for like 20 picks in the next coming years.
Dolphins aren't dumb. They got B-Flow as a coach. B-Flow ain't gonna make dumb decisions.
I'm not saying that's a dumb decision. I'm thinking that could win them 3 Super Bowls.
Okay. I don't believe so.
Ugh, I don't want Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald to the Dolphins alone could win them the Super Bowl.
Well, but think of what we'd have to get rid of. I don't like that. What else happened? So NFL needs consistency. COVID this, COVID that. You know, let's
just cancel the season.
Let's teach.
Is it too late?
We'll get to the Ravens talking about a wildcat strike in a little bit, but I don't understand it. Sometimes the NFL looks at a team like the Patriots or the Ravens or the Titans and they're like, all right, you're all good. But then sometimes they look at teams like Pittsburgh or Denver or, and they're like, who cares about them guys?
As much as Pittsburgh has been screwed over, I just want to point out they're 10-0.
Exactly.
So I don't feel any sympathy for Pittsburgh, no matter what.
Oh, I feel tons of sympathy.
Could lose this week, I don't. They should have lost before.
And the thing is with Pittsburgh, it's like, yeah, I get it. They've got all these days off, but I feel more sympathy for Baltimore because they're the team that's actually getting affected in terms of their roster, and they're the ones that have to travel to Pittsburgh for this game. Pittsburgh is still just being able to practice, studying game film. Every single day that they get delayed is another day of practice for them or another day of film session. And now it's like they have to prepare extra because they're going to be going against a quarterback that they haven't seen play yet. So I'm with Brendan. I don't really feel any sympathy for Pittsburgh. I feel more sympathy for Baltimore, especially for the players that have done their job not to get COVID. It's just the trainers that were being stupid. And it sucks with Denver because it's like, we were talking about this not during recording. It's like, I get it. You want to teach Denver a lesson, use them as an example for why you should follow our protocol or whatever. But it's like, do you really want to tamper with the quality of the sport for that sake when we are the consumer and we don't want to see Kendall Hinton?
Right, move the game till Tuesday so the Broncos can sign somebody.
Right, just find the team, do what you have to do, get rid of a 7th round draft pick or some bullshit.
To Tuesday, I mean, even
Drew Lock would be playing.
I know.
Yeah. Now, regardless, would the Saints still have won? Yes. Would the score have been 31-3, and have been just an ugly shit show? No.
Yes, the Broncos would have won 30.
One pass in the whole game from the Broncos.
They had more interceptions and completions in that football game.
Hey, but Noah Fant got a catch, which won me fantasy.
Nice.
Speaking of players needing catches, if Eric Ebron gets one catch for 3 yards, I win.
So, no catches from Eric Ebron. Which one should I plug?
We'll just have the game not happen.
Do the Christmas lights one on the bottom.
You could have just plugged it into the Christmas lights.
No, because it's 3 plugs.
Oh.
Sad.
Yeah, it's tough. Wait, what were we talking about?
The NFL being indecisive.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just because for the most part, I think the NFL has done a really good job through this whole COVID situation. I really do. I just think this last week has been a pretty poor example of how they've been handling it, and they have not been handling it the best. I think this week is really the only first week where they've been really handling it bad in terms of the consistency and stuff.
Okay, hear me out, right? Play this game, right? The Baltimore Steelers game.
Right.
So that way Eric Ebron can get one catch for 3 yards, and then cancel the rest of the season.
No.
Because then I make the playoffs in fantasy. Ben doesn't win the fantasy football championship.
No, I want to watch football, Brendan. It's not about fantasy football. It's about watching the game.
My fantasy football is so riddled with COVID. So the COVID and the injuries. I don't even know how I have been able to salvage a season.
Because you find ways to beat me by 2 points.
I find ways to beat everybody by 2 points.
Well,
it's just, oh god, Adam Thielen got COVID, and then it was I just haven't, and then it's Brandon Ayuk has COVID. So I had no time to put someone in there to claim him in time. Christian McCaffrey still hurt. I sat Raheem, not that it would have mattered because Sweeney did have Tyreek, and that was awful. Fun fact: the most fantasy points in a single game by an athlete.
Yep, Tyreek.
Yep, 57 points,
something like that.
God, that's gonna go to his head. Don't like Tyreek Hill.
Of course you don't.
I don't like his attitude.
Of course you don't.
Anything.
Yeah, I suppose I would have a bad attitude too if I was a top 5 receiver in football.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's only a top 5 receiver in football because of Patrick Mahomes.
I disagree. I disagree. He put up really good numbers with Alex Smith too.
I think he was underrated before Patrick Mahomes got there.
Yes, and then Mahomes just elevated him to that next level, but he was really good when he was with Alex Smith.
Well, but the thing is Tyreek Hill was better as a running back when Alex Smith was there.
He wasn't really a running, he was a receiver.
He played what most of his plays were jet sweeps and straight up playing out of the Wildcat.
What Chiefs games are you watching?
I'm not kidding. That's what happened. And then he got a lot of return touchdowns that year.
Okay, so he can be a return man too. Great. But Taysom Hill's not. I don't think he's the quarterback of the future.
So Patrick Mahomes, the first year he was a starter was what, 2018? His first year was a starter. Okay, so before that, Kansas City or Tyreek Hill played in Kansas for 2 years. His first year, a respectable 593 receiving yards off 61 catches and 6 tutties. The next year, nearly 1,200 passing yards and receiving yards and 7 touchdowns.
I thought he only had 1 year with Alex Smith.
No, he has had 2. Obviously, his first year, his rookie year is whatever, but then he put up 1,200 yards in his second year in the NFL with Alex Smith.
So what do you guys think of Taysom Hill?
He's better at every other position on offense.
That's fair.
He is
still one of the best offensive weapons in NFL history. I don't care if he can't play quarterback, even though that's his listed position.
fair.
Or I shouldn't say offensive weapons. He's one of the best secret weapons in NFL history. So he can block kicks. He can block punts. He is just an athlete.
He is doing mighty fine for the Saints for 3 games. That's all they need him to do. All the games are winnable because the first one was against Atlanta, and then Denver, who didn't have a quarterback, and then this week against Atlanta again.
Which you don't lose to, but that's okay.
I don't think so because I saw Taysom Hill play the first time they played Atlanta, or they played New Orleans, and it was awful. But yeah, so Taysom Hill is doing his job. He's not turning the ball over. He's making smart plays. I'm not going to say smart throws, but he's making smart plays.
He had 2 picks against the Broncos.
Did he? I did not watch the game, so I guess I did not know.
Yeah, he played like shit. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, well then, yeah.
It's all Latavius Murray that had a good game.
Oh, then I guess I don't know.
Taysom Hill had 2 rushing touchdowns.
That's fair. 3-yard rushing touchdowns.
Yeah. So I don't know. Taysom Hill's not a good quarterback. I think that's no surprise to anybody. But he's getting the job done, and it's okay that he had 2 turnovers because again he was playing a quarterbackless Denver Broncos team.
See, but my question is why are they deciding not to start Jameis?
I think there's actually like something in his contract where if he plays like a certain amount of games or whatever, he gets his bonus.
Yeah, and they don't want to give it to him.
They just don't want to give it to him, which is stupid, but it's whatever.
Jameis is pissed off about it.
I would be pissed off too.
Well,
especially if I feel like I deserve to be the starting quarterback for Drew Brees when he's hurt.
Yeah.
And I think Taysom Hill looks good like when you're talking about like split. Because like there's a lot of times where Taysom Hill will just come out and Drew Brees will go sit and Taysom will end up throwing it and they'll be like, what? He throws the ball? That's great. But I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
That guy taking a nap.
Yeah. Moving on to Sunday Night Football. We got Mitch having a game against Aaron Rodgers. Mitch did not play horrible. Mitch is still my Bears quarterback. I don't care what you say. But Aaron Rodgers and the Packers players actually have a few records after playing the Bears. They became the first team to beat all their divisional opponents by scoring at least 40 points in the Super Bowl era. So probably of all time. Mercedes Lewis had his 400th catch, and it was a touchdown. It's fantastic. Mercedes Lewis, Aaron Rodgers was talking about it today. He is secret. He's not the guy that gets the catches, but he is a very influential part on their offense.
Oh yeah, it's very
amazing.
It's very obvious what he does well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very obviously when they run the football, he's the best blocking tight end. He's the best tight end period on that team.
Bob Tonyan.
Robert Tunion's a fan. Well, actually, no, he's a pretty solid blocking tight end. Yeah. So I guess I can't say that. So yeah, between Mercedes Lewis, who's a veteran on that team, he knows what his role is. He's a fantastic blocking tight end. He can get up the field really well, and he's pretty athletic for a tight end. Yeah. So yeah, Mercedes Lewis, underrated piece of this Packers team.
I agree. What else happened? Devontae Adams had his 500th catch.
Damn.
It was also a touchdown.
Oh, God.
Aaron Rodgers hit 50,000 yards. Guess what play that was on?
On a touchdown.
On a touchdown.
Oh, God.
See, I think they set it up that way. Just every single drive was. And then Rodgers became the only quarterback to have 50 touchdowns and 100 plus passer rating against a single opponent.
Oh God, the poor Bears.
And he has 2 against the Bears and 2 against the Vikings.
Ooh.
So
that's a bad man.
Great night for Packers.
Oh, great night for the
Aaron
legendary Aaron Rodgers.
Through some crazy things. Records that nobody even ever thought of.
Aaron Rodgers would have like 3 more Super Bowls under his belt. He'd be the GOAT.
Somebody was talking about. I read an article actually that was talking about, but Tom Brady is the GOAT, but Aaron Rodgers is the best player.
Aaron Rodgers is easily a better quarterback than Tom Brady in terms of skill set. It's very obvious. But the one thing that Tom Brady is just very, very good at, he's a fantastic game manager. Now, this isn't saying Aaron Rodgers isn't this, but like Tom Brady's a fantastic game manager. He's very accurate. He is just probably the smartest football player we've ever seen, at least one of them. And he's like stupid clutch.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless it's against the Giants.
Unless it's against Eli Manning.
Or another backup quarterback.
Or Nicholas Foles.
And let's get back into the MVP race here. So I pulled him up. You talked about Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, he's probably he's the favorite, isn't he?
Earlier.
Aaron Donald.
I wish.
Just because I hate all the quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
The updated odds.
Except for Randy.
Here, before we do the MVP, Brendan, name 3 quarterbacks in the NFL that you like.
Ryan Tannehill.
Okay.
Interesting.
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Or does he not count because he's injured?
No, he counts. He's a quarterback.
Okay. Oh, Jeff Drixel.
Okay.
Name some.
Anyway, all right. MVP conversation. Nah, you lost me there.
All right. So, leading, negative 400 is Mahomes.
Yeah.
Negative 350 is Rodgers.
Okay.
And then negative 300 is
Russ. Ooh.
So it's very close at this point.
Yeah.
And Russ has an easy schedule. Put it that way.
It all just comes down to what you value in a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. So Mahomes first in yards, third in touchdowns, first in interceptions, first in quarterback rating.
Henry's my MVP.
Raj is sixth in yards, first in touchdowns, tied for third in interceptions, second best quarterback rating. And then Mr. Russ, if it wants to reload here, because it took Aaron Rodgers. And, Russ is third in yards, second in touchdowns, 27th in interceptions. Not a great number. That's one of the things that's holding him back. And then 7th in QBR. But if you also think about it, Russ also has the worst line.
Russell has the worst. Russell Wilson probably has the worst team of all those guys.
Yep, I'd agree.
So when it comes down to that's like what I'm saying. Like it just depends on what you value. If you value numbers, then Mahomes and Rodgers are your guys, and you can debate that for however you want. But if you're talking about the actual name the most valuable player, I still think it's got to be Russell Wilson.
That's what I'm saying.
It's got to be, right?
If you take Russ out of the Seahawks and throw Ryan Tannehill in there, they're not going to be the same team.
They're a last place football team.
Exactly. I think that Russ is what makes it happen, and that's why.
Do you really think that people will be comparing DK Metcalf to Calvin Johnson?
Let's go. That was amazing.
Oh, Lord. Don't get me wrong. DK is fantastic, but Megatron, really? I've been hearing the comparison for a month now, and I'm like, dog, he is not Megatron. No one will ever be Megatron except for Megatron.
Remember when Brent Grimes caught the one-handed interception over Megatron?
I do not.
I don't either.
It's such a beautiful catch.
Wow. But DK Metcalf was told by somebody on the Eagles, Jim Schwartz, that he just isn't Megatron. He's not at the same level.
Yeah,
as Megatron
and he's
was.
right.
DK then went off for 177 receiving yards.
Right, and good for DK. But everything that Jim Schwartz said is 100% right.
I just knew that putting Darius Slay on DK Metcalf was not going to work.
As soon as I saw Darius Slay trying to fight with DK, I knew DK was just going to get pissed off and go off.
I was really hoping in that moment they would just both be ejected.
I was hoping Darius Slay would have been ejected. He was playing dirty the whole game.
I was really hoping they both would get ejected.
DK didn't do nothing wrong. DK, when Russell Wilson stands up for DK Metcalf and starts pushing somebody, that's when you know that the other team's in the wrong.
There's only one other person that Russell Wilson would have done that for, and that's Doug Baldwin.
Exactly.
Doug Baldwin prime, yeah.
And so that's when you know. But
Doug Baldwin was really good.
He was really good. He was stupidly underrated.
Yes, I miss Doug Baldwin. It's good times. And I always thought that he was.
Wait, it's done? I thought there was 93 minutes left.
No.
I always thought he was underrated, but I didn't realize how underrated he was because my brother's a Seahawks fan, and I heard about it so much. I just thought, oh, people must talk about Doug Walton. Nope, it's crazy. But
remember when Javon Curse was good too?
Yeah,
that's just because.
Remember when Percy Harvin was on?
It did good for 2 games.
Yeah.
Remember when J-Ron Curse caught that ball against New England in the Super Bowl?
Yeah. Remember when Russell Wilson threw it to Malcolm Butler in the end zone?
Yes. Remember Tom Brady put up the best Super Bowl performance of all time and lost?
Nope.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding. I'm not like the rest of you.
Yeah. Oh, damn! We're really gonna have to travel to Seattle. Ha 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 ha! Because we're gonna beat Kansas City.
You hope so, huh?
I hope we do.
Might as well get to the games. This week's gonna be weird. So we got a game tomorrow. It's Ravens Steelers. Gonna be a fun one.
That's still this last week.
Then we got no Thursday night game. Kind of sad.
No Thursday game?
No.
Damn.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life on Thursday night.
Well, actually, that'll be perfect. I'll be watching Minnesota, Kansas City on Thursday.
There you go. 2 Monday night games, a Tuesday night game, and a Sunday night game.
Nice.
Yep. Might as well start off Sunday night football. It's the Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Last time you remember, it was in Denver. It was a snowstorm. Nobody played well. That was another game Patrick Mahomes did not play well in. But I don't fault him at all because it was literally blizzard.
Quarterbacks don't play well against the Broncos.
It was exactly in my high when there's a blizzard. But they killed the Broncos then. They're probably gonna kill the Broncos now. I have 82-17. Denver's gonna put up a valiant effort, but Tyreek Hill's gonna go off. Bryce Callahan is hurt again. He's ranked number 3rd in corners, right? Yeah. Because Jalen Ramsey's a corner.
Yeah.
Yep. Ranked number 3rd in corners. He's hurt again. Philip Lindsay, hurt again. It's rough. So,
on commercial, you said rough.
Yeah, Kansas City's going to win, but hey, Broncos aren't going to look bad.
Yeah, they'll look better. KC wins 34-17. I'm sure Denver will cause Mahomes some fits. They usually do, but I just don't think Denver's offense can keep up. So 34-17.
Drew Lock will be there, though.
He will be.
I remember the last time I bet against the Broncos winning, we beat Miami. Just a warning for you. Anyways, Brendan.
And the time before that, they beat New England.
That's true. What do you have, Brendan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have Kansas City winning in actually a lower scoring game than some would expect. I have Kansas City winning. What did I put? 29-11.
Mm-hmm. Any fun expectations from this game, Brendan?
Broncos get a safety.
Oh, I like that.
No touchdowns, though.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I was trying to see my most listened on Spotify for 2020.
And that's it?
Yeah, I just want to see.
Oh, nice. That's a good song.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, Part 1. Washington football team travels to Pittsburgh. I'll let you guys go first.
I think the Steelers are barely going to edge this out. I think that the Washington defense is going to be a problem for Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger is going to get injured and finally retire. And they're still just going to have enough points then to kind of coast out. But 21-19 Steelers.
Nice.
All right, guys. My top artists for this year. Number 5. Do you guys want to take a wild guess on my artists?
The Washington football team?
No. Number 5, we have Migos.
Migos. Okay, so that's a good base. Are you a Drake fan?
I am. He's number 2 on my list.
All right.
Post is 3rd on my list.
Post, yep. I feel like you're gonna have somebody random in there.
Not really. The only one that is random compared to the other ones is number 1, but that's
Jack Harlow?
No, it's not rap at all. It's my favorite band though.
What's your favorite band?
Imagine Dragons.
Okay.
They're number 1.
You and Ethan have that in common.
He likes Imagine Dragons.
He loves Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons.
Stop! I hate that joke so much. I hate it. I hate that joke.
Imagine Dragons are a good team.
They're so good.
I only like one of their songs. Everything else is really not great.
Why?
I thoroughly enjoy them.
Why do you think they're not good?
Well, okay. They came out with Radioactive. That was their first big hit.
Yeah.
Awesome song. Amazing song.
Yeah.
Everything else after that.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Don't like anything.
What
Radioactive is your peak?
Yeah.
That's not even their best song on that album.
Oh my gosh, Brendan.
Their best song ever made.
That's simply not true. It's probably their most popular song, and probably their most popular song, but to say it's their best song, not true. Number 4 is The Baby, by the way.
I figured it was gonna be either Da Baby or Roddy Rich or somebody like that.
Yeah.
But I was wondering when Roddy Rich came up.
Yeah.
I feel like it was more this summer where Da Baby's been all year long.
Yeah.
It's a good list. Similar music taste. I don't use Spotify though, so I don't have one of those.
I love Spotify.
I don't use Spotify either, but guess what? None of those guys would actually be in my top 5.
I feel like all 5 of those would be in my top 5.
I don't have songs from...
No, Imagine Dragons wouldn't make it. Imagine Dragons would be replaced by Pop Smoke at this point, probably.
Mine would actually be super interesting. Because it'd probably be like Young Gravy would be on there, not number 1, probably number 5. It would be Jack Stauber would make an appearance, probably at number 3. Presidents of the United States of America would be number 2.
Donald Trump is a musician?
The Presidents of the United States of America.
Donald Trump and...
Nope.
Barack Obama collab album?
No.
George W. Bush? Bill Clinton?
If anybody were to make a collab
Dwight
album out of
Eisenhower?
actual presidents, it would be Barack Obama and soon to be Joe Biden.
Dude, that'd be... That would be a lit collab.
Yes.
Not gonna lie. Because I could see Biden and Joe going off. It'd be lit. But,
Weedish would be number 4.
I will say though with Roddy Rich, The Box was number 3 in my top songs.
Nice.
Yeah. You probably want my predictions for
football team, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I feel like 2 really good defenses going at it. Should be interesting. Pittsburgh might go into this on a shorter week, so I'll say Pittsburgh still, but 20-14 Pittsburgh in a close one.
So I think Pittsburgh's got to lose at some point.
Yeah.
And I think if they're going to lose, they're going to lose against football team. Football team has all the momentum. Pittsburgh going in short. They've had so much going on right now. James Conner has COVID, so he'll be out for sure. Ben Roethlisberger isn't that fantastic.
Truth. Never has been.
Yeah. So I have football team. It's gonna be an ugly one, 13-9, but I could see football team getting the victory and securing the division.
Do they get 2 safeties?
No. It's.
Do you know what the statistical anomaly is of chances wise of getting 2 safeties in a game?
I do not.
It is 0.04%.
Hey, that's Not gonna say something, but there's a certain virus going around that has a lower death rate than getting 2 safeties in a National Football League game.
Actually, it might be lower. I think that's once you actually get 1 safety. You have a 0.4% chance of getting.
Fun fact: I was in the top 0.1% of listeners, with the most listens too.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah,
addict.
I like music.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's okay now. Once I get.
I really wish Apple Music would do it because my list would be wild.
I wish Amazon would do it.
I don't know why other don't.
I think Spotify might have some rights to it.
That'd be cool. Side Squad Podcast would be on my top list.
ITK Sports was not my most listened to podcast, and I'm disappointed.
Damn. It would. I have all your podcast downloads every episode.
Thanks. I haven't done it in a long time. It's been a minute.
Hey, things going on.
Life gets busy.
Moving on Monday Night Football to Monday Night. It's the Bills at the Arizona 49ers. I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be high scoring. And I think Buffalo pulls away with the victory. In a close one, but I think the Bills will, barely get it. Cole Beasley will have another touchdown, making it 3 weeks in a row to throwing touchdowns. But that's just a fun stat. What do y'all got?
So, this will be an interesting week for the 49ers. It's the first time they won't be practicing in their own facilities. They won't be in their own homes and playing in their new stadium. Here's the funny thing. Guess who has more experience at State Farm Stadium than the 49ers?
The Bills.
The Bills. They've already played a game there this year. Not that that'll truly matter, but it's just a fun little tidbit. But the Bills do win 30-21. I don't think that San Francisco is going to be able to run the ball. I think that Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Jared Goff.
Oh. Coming from you?
Yes, and that's saying something.
Wow.
That's how you know I'm just done with Jared Goff's his consistent inconsistency.
It's crazy.
But yeah, 31-20 Buffalo.
Nice.
Did you go already?
Yeah.
Oh. I have a different game from all of y'all because I've apparently been watching 2 completely different teams in the Bills and the Niners. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game by quite a bit. I have neither team breaking 20.
Okay.
I have 17-10 Buffalo still because of a Cole Beasley passing touchdown.
Nice. All right, way to stay on the hype train there.
Gotta. But 49ers on offense without Jimmy Garoppolo, without George Kittle, have been pretty horrendous.
I don't know.
They did good against the really tough defense of Los Angeles, but they didn't play another tough defense.
They ran the ball well. That's about all they did well.
They play another tough defense, which is statistically ranked actually kind of lower in the pass game, which is surprising. I think it's pretty much just because of the Micah Hyde injury, but I don't see them scoring high. And I think the 49ers defense has been really good at stopping teams from scoring. So, only the Dolphins have blown out the Niners.
Let's go, Dolphins! Huge Dolphins fan right here.
It was Ryan Fitzpatrick because Tua is not good.
You know who my playoff teams are? You know who the AFC, the only team that I want?
Miami.
The Dolphins. NFC, that's a throw up. I like Raj. I like Russ.
But see, you also
like Kyler.
The Broncos are in the hunt, aren't they? Well,
if you want to
eliminate
no, the only team that's statistically eliminated right now is the Jets. Oof. But the Broncos aren't making the playoffs. There'd have to be a miracle from Jesus Christ himself to
why not Drew Lock?
Put us in the 9th seed.
Drew,
no.
Drew Lock is better than Jesus Christ.
At what?
At everything.
At living. You are right.
Yeah, getting nailed by defenses.
Well, jokes on you, because guess who's alive right now and guess who isn't?
Well, technically, if you believe, both are alive.
Well, to be fair, one guy was so good at living, he did it twice.
True.
Oh, these points.
Yo, okay, hear me out. Instead of Patrick Mahomes, we'll just call up Jesus himself, right? And we'll have Jesus actually play Drew Lock this week instead of Patrick Mahomes. Jesus will be set up more, so if Jesus wins by a slim margin, Drew Lock is better.
The problem is I think Denver used all their Jesus points when Tim Tebow was there.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Like, once they got rid of Tebow...
We used it up for life.
Yeah, once...
that Steelers playoff game.
Well, once Tebow left, it was like, oh, well, Jesus was like, all right, Denver, y'all disappointed me. I'm out of here.
Well, but then they gave them a Super Bowl without having a quarterback that was worth a snub.
Best defense in the league.
Yeah, and I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying.
Hey, Kentucky lost.
They did?
Yeah, 65-62.
And they were winning most of the game.
Damn. That's what happens when you can't shoot the 3.
Teams combined for 8 of 42 from the 3.
They tried.
That's horrible.
A for effort, right?
Oh, God, that's so bad.
I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Tuesday night football. Yep, there's Tuesday night football this week.
Cows at Ravens.
Yeah. This could be, not gonna lie, this could be a shit show. Depending on COVID, if 17,000 players for the Ravens are still out.
Well, it might be Trace McSorley.
Dude! Alright, so here's the difference maker for me. If Trace McSorley starts at quarterback, I'm going to have the same score. Ravens win the game. But as I have it, I think that the Ravens will be missing too many pieces, and so the boys will take it 28-17. But hey, you never know. RG3, Trace McSorley could surprise us.
I think no matter who's at quarterback, even if it is the best running back on their roster in Lamar Jackson, Baltimore will beat the Cowboys. The score probably doubles if Trace McSorley's in, but I have the score being 27-14, Baltimore.
I have 24-20 Baltimore. I don't know. I just feel like this will be ugly. Both teams aren't playing very well right now. I'm sure if Lamar's playing, I'm sure they'll find a way to blow him out. If Trace McSorley plays, they win by like 100.
Lamar will be out for sure because he tested positive.
Oh, he will. Okay, then there we go. That's my excuse for why it's going to be an ugly, low-scoring game. I think Baltimore will do just enough. Defensively, I think they'll be able to slow down Andy Dalton just enough. Trace McSorley.
Helicopter. It's coming for Trace McSorley.
Just a gift from Brian.
Okay, so for the next game on this list, part of me wants to look back at one of Green Bay's 3 losses last year.
Me no look back at past. Me look towards future.
It was to the Eagles. And the Eagles, obviously a worse team.
Me no like Eagles. Eagles is bad.
The same team.
Me like Packers more than Eagles.
That's because you're bad.
Me not bad. Me great. Me goated. Just like Aaron Rodgers.
But I have the Packers winning regardless, 30-18.
Alright, I also have the Packers winning. A little bit more of a margin there. I think the Packers are going to go off. As you can see this season, Aaron Rodgers likes to throw touchdowns to literally give everybody a touchdown. Especially when they play teams that aren't very good. Against the Bears, like 4 or 5 different guys had touchdowns.
But the Bears defense is good. That makes no sense.
Exactly, which means against the Eagles, it's going to be even more.
But the Eagles also held Russ to, only scoring so much.
Chris Carson had a touchdown. Somebody else had a touchdown running. 42-19 Packers.
Excuse me. Yeah, this isn't exactly going to be the revenge game for Carson, and I just think the Packers will keep rolling. So, yeah, Eagles are not good this year, but the Packers are. 41-20.
I think this is really funny. I have the Eagles scoring the least, but I have them scoring 18. Then in the next row up, Duncan has them scoring 19.
Oh wow, that is funny.
The next row up, Noah has them scoring 20, and then even though we're not talking about him because he's not here, Justin Turner has them scoring 21.
Oh,
he had to make it to practice. Also, Ethan said Trevor May is no longer a Twin.
Yeah, he signed with the Mets.
Poor Twins.
Yeah.
Noah, your game's next.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be a banger. At least in my book.
No, yeah. It's going to be a good game. Two division rivals. The Rams taking on the Arizona Cardinals. The actual team that belongs in Arizona. So, here's the deal with the Rams. I don't know what is with the Niners. They always expose us. I don't know. I don't know what Jared Goff I'm getting. I don't know how our defense is going to look. Even though I thought our defense played fine, I literally think Arizona is going to win just purely off of me being a fan, and I just think we're going to lose. I also think we're losing to the Jets, too, so I'm in that mental state of capacity at the moment. What I have, 27-21 Arizona. Kyler will go off, I'm sure. We showed that when a team can establish the run, it's bad for everybody, and I don't know if Arizona's going to be able to do that. Arizona's pass rush is pretty decent. If you can make Jared Goff uncomfortable, that'll be bad. Giving more possessions for Kyler Murray, so therefore Cardinals win.
Yay!
And then the Rams will crumble, and I'll be sad.
I also have the Cardinals winning 32-30. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a fun game. I don't think Jared Goff's going to play bad, but I think that the Cardinals' offense is just going to play a little better.
Yeah.
I have the score 29-23. I think Arizona's defense is going to step up against a struggling Rams offense and kind of make it to where they have a lower scoring game. Now, I do think that the Rams defense will still be pretty good, although I think Arizona's offense is still one of the best in the league, so they'll be able to get the job done.
Beautiful. My game this week, I thought it was a fun one, and I picked it. Surprisingly, we all picked the same team to win here, because I thought that you guys would have gone with the other team. Saints at Falcons. After Falcons blew out the Raiders, beat the Broncos, beat the team before that. The Raiders are on a run here. Not a run that matters, but they're on a run. And I think as an interim head coach, might as well get wins, You're not
right, so
punished anyways.
Try and get a starting job, or try and get a head coaching job.
And even if it's not with the Falcons, the Jets are available.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I have 42-27. Atlanta's going to kill the Saints because if Taysom Hill gets forced to not run the football, Taysom Hill can't play quarterback.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Taysom Hill also destroyed Atlanta the first go-around, so I think the key is just not giving New Orleans much of any possession. So we'll see how Atlanta approaches that. They're coming off a very impressive offensive performance. I still worry about the defense, but I think if Atlanta can put up enough points at home, they will prevail. I do think they will win. I think the Broncos had a formula to slow down Taysom Hill, and we'll see if Atlanta can follow it. For now, I have 31-30, but I'm not very confident in this prediction.
So, I'm pretty confident in my prediction. I think it's going to be a close game. I think that Wait, is Julio going to be back?
I don't believe so.
Is Russell Gage going to be back? We're going to say he is, and then I'm very confident. Anywho, I think that the Falcons are currently on a tear, and I think where the Saints offense is right now, it is worse than the Raiders offense. Granted, the Saints defense is way better than the Raiders defense, but I think that if they're able to beat the Raiders by just basically not letting them score, I think the Falcons would be able to do the same, as well as finding some interesting ways to put up points themselves. 28-23 Atlanta.
Awesome. And for the final game of this week, it's a great game. I'm a fan of this game.
It's gonna be a close game.
Yep, and I also think that the team that is more active on TikTok is gonna win the game.
I didn't think about that.
And since I'm the only one that picked them, I'll go with the Detroit Lions, 24-17. Hey, Lions, the better football team, gonna get a dub.
Trois Lions.
Patricia's still out. He was fired, right?
Yeah.
So whoever takes over can't do worse.
You know, they also fired their GM, didn't
they?
So this makes 3 teams this year that fired their head coach and GM.
Hey, both are the problems. I mean,
well, one of them was Bill O'Brien.
Exactly, it was both. So all 3 have been the issues for the team.
And honestly, the other 2 have been better since.
Exactly.
So, who says the Lions can't be? I'm not going to switch my score just because I feel like the only way they win hurts me in fantasy. So, I don't want to go there.
But you dropped him, didn't you?
No, I'm picking him back up, but I have to wait until after this game.
What if I put it away before him?
Then you'll get him. But
I don't need him.
What was I saying? Oh,
I don't know.
1917 Chicago. It's going to be a very low-scoring defensive game. So.
Awesome. And Noah.
So Chicago, so Trubisky's playing, right?
Most likely.
Yeah.
The Mitch show.
He played well against Detroit first go around. I don't think Detroit's going to be I don't think Detroit's very good. They're going to have a new head coach in there, so who knows what we're going to get from that team. So I'm just going to go with Chicago 23-20, and Mitch Trubisky does get a win.
Oh, that goes against my prediction.
And I don't think Trubisky plays terrible.
I like that. See, I'm in a horrible position here. Love Mitch Trubisky. Literally have his rookie card sitting in my car.
Damn.
Where the sunglasses go.
Yep.
Big Mitch Trubisky fan. Yep. But I also like the Lions for some reason. And,
because no one likes the Lions. Someone has to love that team.
That's true. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm going with the TikTok team. And when I post these predictions on TikTok, I hope the Lions comment or something on it, because the Lions do that when you tag the Lions and things.
Tag the Lions in our post.
Get some free pub.
Exactly.
Anything else before we wrap this up for the week?
Gosh, I don't think so.
Well, did you guys see that the U.S. women's national team is suing?
What are they suing for?
Wage discrimination between the U.S. women's national team and the U.S. men's national
they've sued that for 3 years in a row.
I was gonna say, and I hate to spoil it for everyone, but it's just gonna end up being the same thing. Because here's what's just gonna end up happening: they're gonna realize that the women's national team doesn't make as much money, so therefore they don't get the same amount of pay.
See, here's my thing:
because I can't name anybody on the U.S. men's national team.
The women's national team gets a lot more talked about. Seems to be better.
Yeah, let me establish this. Do I think the women should get paid? Oh my gosh, I do. Because in terms of production, they should be making way more than the men do. But the fact of the matter is they don't draw in enough money, and in the end, it's still a business, and it's just such a tough situation. Because like I said, if it was up to me, I'd pay them. But I understand if my resources were not as plentiful, then it's just like we just can't. It's like the same thing with the WNBA. It's like we just can't because we don't have as much money as the men do. We don't draw in as much money as the men do. The women have a soccer league, but like not a very big one, and it's not popular. Like no one really cares about women's soccer until the World Cup. And I hate to say that because that always sounds mean when I say it, but
hey, Megan Rapinoe's getting married to
Sue Bird.
So the two sports that.
No kidding. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Megan Rapinoe is the GOAT, but
Megan Rapinoe, best soccer player in history of the world.
I wouldn't say history of the world.
History of the world. Better than the Mayans who used to play basketball with their feet.
That's a fun one.
Well, and they used heads instead of balls.
Okay. Well, anything else?
I feel like you need this, Duncan.
I know, I was just thinking.
We saw them at Target. I put some away today.
Yo.
Should have just stole a couple.
I hear they don't. You don't need to use the Target.
Imagine your dad comes back from work with that. That's how
he comes home from work with the fist. Yes,
it's gonna be amazing.
Your mom's just sitting there on the phone with one.
I'm gonna use that to practice wrestling, and then I'll be a professional wrestler.
There you go. Become the next. I don't know who.
That's how I'm gonna be my opponent. I'm just gonna kick.
The Bears need to watch this commercial. They might have their next kicker. Did you see the kid kick the ninja?
I did see that.
That was like a beautiful.
That'll be my finisher.
The punt. You're taking it from the Patrick McAfee.
Except the guy goes flying like 20 feet in the air.
Okay.
Also, not no lame like 5 feet in the air like with Patrick.
Hey. Also, this Sunday, Pat McAfee goes into War Games against the Undisputed Era, and Oni Lorcan and Pete Dunne and Pat McAfee and Danny Burch are gonna kill Undisputed Era. It's gonna be a great one.
Damn.
This Sunday.
The only thing that's gonna be undisputed is the win that Pat McAfee has over Undisputed Era.
He's undefeated in professional wrestling besides his one loss to Adam Cole.
How's he looking in the ring?
He's got it if he wants to do it.
Right. Like, he's obviously, I'm sure he's still pretty raw, but, like, that's expected.
He's got it if he wants to do it. This Sunday, War Games is going to be great because it's stipulation, and I'm fully expecting Pat McAfee to jump off the top of the War Games. So.
Ooh!
But, yeah. So, tune into that.
I think I just might.
That or the Broncos game, so I mean...
Take your choice.
If the Broncos are winning, I will not be switching it because the Broncos don't want to be upset. But, so that's all for this week. Follow us on social media at SciSquadPod. SciSquad Sports on TikTok.
Oh.
Go like and duet and stitch and comment. It's where you take part of our clip, part of the TikTok, and you add it to your own TikTok. Boom, social media. Do all that stuff and drop us a like and all that good stuff, and we'll see you next week for the Sci Squad podcast. I'm Duncan.
I'm Noah.
And I'm